It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Your emails as well at randykabc@gmail.com and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. Today, we're going to Santa Monica. Santa Monica, one of the most well-known parts of Los Angeles County, the iconic pier, the restaurants, 3rd Street Promenade. Oh, remember how that used to be a thing? Santa Monica has had a lot of issues over the last few years, especially with crime. But despite all of that, it is still one of the most expensive places in Los Angeles County, one of the most expensive places in Southern California. You ever just do a little scrolling on Zillow just to see, kind of, if you live in the valley, you do this a lot when it gets really hot in the summer. You just dream what it would be like to be in any of the beach communities. And first you'd look at Hermosa or Redondo or Seal Beach or Huntington Beach, but you might check out Santa Monica, see what's going on. The first thing that you'll notice is if you're looking for anything under $1 million, well, you're not going to get much for it. Here is a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom condo, 623 square feet for $799,000. Oh, my goodness. That is insane. But while the prices are very high in Santa Monica, something that you might also notice if you're Zillow porting on Santa Monica is that for a very small city, when you're talking about geographic-wise, there are almost 300 homes for sale. There's a lot of people trying to get out of Santa Monica. It's incredibly expensive. Good luck with that. But there are over almost 300 homes listed just in the city limits of Santa Monica. And a lot of them among the very desirable areas, like right near the beach or, what was it? 3rd Street Promenade. Remember how cool that thing was 15 years ago? And I was one of those people. I remember when 3rd Street Promenade became a huge thing. Hey, they're closing down the traffic. They're opening all these restaurants. Get down to Yankee Doodles. I remember very specifically driving down to 3rd Street Promenade maybe 15 years ago, finding parking in one of those garages, walking up and down, finding some Mexican restaurant that was on the 2nd floor of something. Can't remember the name of it, but remember having a hibiscus margarita. Probably the first time I ever had a hibiscus margarita, and it was stellar. And Santa Monica was a lot of fun. Now, there are always issues with Santa Monica, parking being one of them. The fact that it's very expensive to just hang around there, but the pier was fun, and 3rd Street Promenade was a good time, and it was hopping, and it was packed. Well, a lot has changed in the last 10 years in Santa Monica. And while you cannot causate a correlation, you can notice that a very interesting thing happened to Santa Monica and the specific level of safety as soon as LA County finished the Expo line of Metro. About 10 years ago, they finally finished it. This train they had been working on for 10 years was going to go all the way from downtown LA to Santa Monica, cutting down on commute times. Although in the last 10 years, has the 10 freeway looked any better? No, it hasn't. But if you're going to use that specific trip, good for you. Heck, the Expo line goes right past the radio station in Culver City. If I lived anywhere near Metro, technically I could take it to work. But I don't live anywhere near Metro because the Orange Line doesn't count. That's a bus. I will say I have used the Expo line a few times. I did use it to go to a Rams game once when they were playing at the Coliseum. And that train gets real rowdy at the end of the game. I have used it once just to see what it would be like to try to get to work. I was doing a Friday night guest hosting show. And so I drove my car to the Burbank North Hollywood Metro Station, took the Red Line to Union Station, took the Expo Line all the way to Culver City. And then one time, the only time I've ever used it to get to Santa Monica, I was in the middle of a break. I was working mornings at KABC, and I needed to figure out something to do with 3 hours because I was going to be taping a block show at 1 o'clock, and I got off at 10. So I thought, ooh, you know what I could go for? One of those Godmother sandwiches over at Bay City's Italian Deli. So I took the Expo Line to Santa Monica, mixed my stop, but found my way over there, got one of those sandwiches, got a little thing of the stuffed peppers. Oh, my. It was real good. But that was right when the Expo Line had opened. What has happened in the 10 years since the Expo Line opened is something that has happened to every single part of town that ends up becoming the end of the line for Metro. This was something that really exploded after the pandemic. I'm not going to say because of the pandemic, because it wasn't COVID, but we locked everyone down, and all of a sudden the buses and the trains turned into de facto homeless shelters, and we decided we weren't going to do anything about that. You also have the change in policing, where it used to just be the sheriff's department, and then it was this combo of LAPD and LA County Sheriff and Long Beach. Who knows why they did that? But we got to a point where the homeless had taken over Metro, and at the end of the night, when the train shut down, if you happen to be on one of those trains at the end of the line, whether it's Long Beach on the Blue Line, whether it's Santa Monica on the Expo Line, Azusa, or soon to be Claremont on the Gold Line, I don't know what the actual names for these trains are called because they're all silly. All the homeless that were on the train end up in your neighborhood. This all happened at the same time that LA County appointed Barbara Ferrer, the director of public health. And Barbara Ferrer started instituting some very destructive programs to the city of Santa Monica, specifically harm reduction programs, passing out drug paraphernalia to the homeless in Santa Monica parks all around 3rd Street Promenade. The needles would litter everywhere. They would give the people 2 needles, one to use, the other to sell, so you could get your $10 hit of fentanyl.
Yeah.
This has been something that has upset many residents of Santa Monica and has been one of the contributing factors to the rise in crime in Santa Monica, the rise in homeless blight in Santa Monica, in a lot of places in the city, but very notably, the once very pristine jewel of the county, the most fun shopping center to go to, 3rd Street Promenade. Well, the city of Santa Monica wants to do something to fix the image of Santa Monica, and they want to do something to solve the woes of 3rd Street Promenade, which used to be bustling with business and now has a lot of vacancies and doesn't have a whole lot of action going on there. So what exactly is the city of Santa Monica going to do to revitalize their city and revitalize their premier shopping destination? They're going to let you drink everywhere. That'll do it. For more on Santa Monica's plan to let you booze it up at 3rd Street Promenade, let's go to a report from KCAL.
Santa Monica is shaking things up to bring more life and more people back to the 3rd Street Promenade.
It's a bold new proposal. Could let visitors...
I don't know if it's bold. It's literally the same thing that Matt Haney was pitching to all the downtowns just a few weeks ago.
It's a bold new proposal. Could let visitors sip alcoholic drinks as they stroll through downtown.
Let's turn 3rd Street into Bourbon Street.
KCAL News reporter Gio Insignares is in Santa Monica to break it down for us.
Here on the 3rd Street Promenade between Arizona and Wilshire, you take a look all around us. This is a Friday night, and things are not exactly living it up.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. And you don't love to see this. I mean, even though Santa Monica was always a pain in the ass and the local government has always been insane, it was safe. It was expensive and parking was a nightmare, but it was safe. Once it stopped being safe, people stopped going there.
There's not a lot of people outside of the few off to our left there having dinner in a restaurant. For the most part, this is what folks have been describing to us and what we've seen all throughout the evening. Not very lively, not a lot of people walking around. And of all those folks we talked to, they compared this to what it was a few years ago, and it was a stark difference. However, the city has a new idea to potentially get the party started again.
How are we going to get that party started?
Imagine walking down Santa Monica's iconic 3rd Street Promenade, drink in hand, no special event required.
I just, I have enjoyed a music festival in my day. I enjoy a drink every now and then. Okay, maybe more than that. But I don't really see the massive appeal in going to a shopping center and being able to carry around one of those 6-foot daiquiris like you're in Vegas. That's not really, I don't think that's like such a pull that I need to go there. And the crowd that's really into that, I don't know if that's really enough to sustain the revitalization of 3rd Street Promenade. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe open carrying booze is the silver bullet that 3rd Street Promenade needs.
That could soon be reality after city leaders gave the green light to a sweeping new plan.
If we want to bring our tourists and regional visitors back downtown, I think we need to make it worth their while.
The council is now asking for a full-time entertainment zone that would allow public alcohol consumption daily from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m.
I like that.
I mean, sure. So now instead of drinking at one of the several bars that used to be at 3rd Street Promenade, you buy a drink and then you walk up and down and then you go get another drink. And obviously it's not in a mug or a martini glass or a rocks glass anymore, but now you have to drink out of one of those tiny plastic cups with a little plastic straw and cool, fun. You know what's the weirdest thing? There are some airports now that are doing open carry in their concourses, including Dallas Love. It's strange. Like, hey, beyond this point, you can carry around a beer anywhere. And I don't know about you. Call me a prude. I don't know if we necessarily need to be encouraging even more alcohol consumption at the airport.
From 8 a.m. to 2 a.m.
I like that.
I think that it's a good thing for somebody at my age bracket who's only going to have one or two drinks and walk around.
Some residents argue Santa Monica has fallen on hard times, especially since the pandemic, with the sight of more officers and crime scenes, as well as a lack of big crowds in popular areas.
Yeah. Again, you can't really say that was because of COVID. That was because of the actions of local government around the same time as COVID. Expo Line, Ferrer being the two biggest contributors, in my opinion, to the destruction of that city.
But they think this new idea can bring the area back.
We can create an entertainment zone that would be the envy of the rest of the city. We can be the place to go out. We can be the place where tourists want to be. And this is...
And again, the big difference between what they're proposing and what's there now is, well, you can carry around a beverage while you're walking from shop to shop. Okay. Am I just boring? Is that not that exciting of an idea for me?
And this is a great first step.
I mean, if you are talking about, okay, we need more live music, we need more events down there, those are all things that'll come if you make it safer, which I don't think we're even talking about here. And there are certain elements of the crowd that you're encouraging to now come because, hey, more booze, and you've got multiple bartenders that aren't going to be able to check how hammered you are. I don't know if that's really the solution.
And this is a great first step.
Now, I'm a firm believer in putting trust in the people to have some fun and do it safely and responsibly, so I think it's a good opportunity.
The initial zone would run from Wilshire to Arizona, with hopes to expand in the future. Signs would be placed to highlight the areas where drinking is allowed. Drinkers would need to be 21 or older, wear wristbands, and stick to drinks served in non-glass, non-metal containers.
Is it going to be those paper wristbands that always get stuck to my arm hair? Because I don't like those.
I don't know if it's going to have a positive impact on the family-friendly shops that don't sell alcohol. I think that's...
There's the other aspect, you know. This used to be a place that people thought about taking their kids on the weekends. not exactly sending the right message unless you're the parents that need to hold a drink while you're walking your kid around the promenade.
I don't know if it's going to have a positive impact on the family-friendly shops that don't sell alcohol. I think that's equally a concern.
There's also some concern from city leaders and residents over security and whether more police would be needed in the area. But supporters say other cities across the country have made this work, and they believe Santa Monica can too.
This is easy. It shouldn't be hard. And the sooner we get it up and running, the more successful it's going to be.
It's all part of a push to revive downtown and reimagine what a night out in Santa Monica can look like.
Hey, best idea I've heard since they come down here.
Man, this guy likes it.
Man, I gamble on it. Oh my God, I all my winnings right here. I stake all my dollars on it. Yeah, I love it.
You know, why don't we just go for it? They seem to like gambling. Why don't we turn 3rd Street Promenade into a casino? Legalize the gambling too.
A final draft of the ordinance is expected to come the City Council's way in May. If approved, open container zones could debut as soon as June. In Santa Monica, I'm Gio Insignares, KCAL News.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. If you live in Santa Monica, if you used to go to Santa Monica, maybe you still go to Santa Monica, I'd love to hear you weigh in on this. Do you think open container zones are the thing that's going to bring back the 3rd Street Promenade? Do you have a better idea how to bring back the 3rd Street Promenade? Is the 3rd Street Promenade dead and it's time to bring back the cars? What say you? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Is more booze and open containers the way we save Santa Monica and the 3rd Street Promenade? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Get on the phone right now and tell me what you think. Do you think what the city is proposing here, adding open container entertainment zones, is what's going to save the 3rd Street Promenade and the city of Santa Monica? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Get on the line right now. We're taking your calls next. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. In an effort to revitalize Santa Monica, the city is talking about adding entertainment zones to the 3rd Street Promenade where you can open carry your wine, open carry your beer, open carry your cocktail from restaurant to restaurant to shop to shop. Do you think open container entertainment zones are what's going to save Santa Monica and the dwindling 3rd Street Promenade? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Do you have a better idea how to fix Santa Monica? 800-222-KABC. Let's go to John in Santa Monica. John, hello.
How you doing, Randy?
Great.
The restaurant you were talking about was Tampico Tilly's. It was in the what they call the old mall, down at the end of the mall.
Oh, that's right.
And,
oh, yeah.
And then there was dance clubs down there. There was Laurie's, and then there was a comedy club, and you had King George's. You had Gotham City, a pool hall. All of that's gone. What are you going to do now? Just get drunk and go to the Foot Locker and sit around? It's going to smell like more urine than ever. It already is bad. You walk down any alley or anywhere around there, it's they call the pier the fun zone. There's no fun down there. It's just a big waste of time. I don't know what they're thinking about. We're just going to have more derelicts hanging around smoking meth in the bathrooms and in the garages. Now they're tearing all the garages down to build low-income housing. I mean, there's no fun down there.
No, and you're going to make it even harder to park in that city. Good luck getting anyone else in the county to want to come to Santa Monica when already you've got all the issues that you just highlighted. Outside of what, Harvell's, is there anywhere fun to go anymore?
No, there was a place called Mr. B's, 2nd Street Bar and Grill. Harvell's, yeah, I never really did the Harvell's thing. Is it still there? I don't even go by there anymore.
Last time I went was
a decade ago.
I hope it's still in business.
They used to have these frozen drinks called chillers down there. It was just Just a different time. One night I was
so
sitting
you
there
don't think
partying with Tommy Lee and Heather Locklear at this place called the Manhattan. You could dance in there. There's no dancing anymore. There's a lot of dance clubs around here. Things to do. I don't know what these kids do nowadays.
Well,
I guess
they
they'll go to the
dance,
mall.
but they don't dance there. They dance at raves and they dance on ecstasy. John, do you think that the open containers is going to fix the 3rd Street Promenade?
Not at all. I just don't know what they're going to do down there. You could get drunk and go to a movie. I mean, that's all that's down there now. There's nothing up down there. It keeps me home. So because I would go I could just sit on the couch and I go, oh man, I'm missing something down at the Promenade. I'm missing nothing now except high prices and screaming and yelling vagrants running around, looking for fights. There'll be more fights down there than ever now.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a fun night out. Well, John, thank you so much as always for calling. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number, 1-800-222-5222. I want to hear from everyone, but especially if you're in Santa Monica, the city's idea to revitalize the 3rd Street Promenade by allowing open container drinking. Is that what's going to save Santa Monica and the 3rd Street Promenade? How would you fix Santa Monica? 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. Tell me what you think about Santa Monica's brilliant idea to add open container booze to the 3rd Street Promenade. 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. If you're on hold, stay on hold. We'll get to your calls next. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Your emails as well at randykabc@gmail.com and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. We're taking your phone calls right now at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Santa Monica has been in quite a decline over the last 10 years. There have been a lot of reasons, whether it's Barbara Ferrer or LA Metro ending the Expo line there. But crime has gone up, drug use has gone up, homelessness has gone up, and attendance to the 3rd Street Promenade has gone down. Vacancies are all over the place. The city of Santa Monica has come up with a novel idea to bring people back to the 3rd Street Promenade, the shining jewel of Santa Monica, with entertainment zones and open container drinking. Do you think more booze outside is what's going to solve the city of Santa Monica's problems? I want to hear your thoughts, whether you're a resident of Santa Monica or you live anywhere in Southern California and you used to go to Santa Monica. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Do you think outdoor booze is going to solve the 3rd Street Promenade's problems? 800-222-KABC. Let's go to Mike in Glendale. Mike, hello.
Hi, Randy. Look, you're not going to solve the problem at 3rd Street by turning it into Amsterdam. It doesn't work that way. What you got to do is, instead of having an inclusion zone where you can drink, you need to have a bums and junkies exclusion zone where they can't come in there. They're kicked out. You do it from the boardwalk, the pier area, all the way through to Lincoln Boulevard, from the 10 freeway all the way north to that little hill, that California turnout or whatever it's called. And you kick all the bums and junkies out of there, then you might start getting businesses back. You'll get the families back. You'll get peace and some sort of fun back. But I feel the only reason they want to do the alcohol thing is so the cops don't have to get called for public intoxication because of the bums and junkies. Now you can leave them alone regarding that because it's not a crime anymore. You've legalized it.
Yeah, I think you make a really solid point. And once you see a video of a homeless person in the middle of the day attacking a little girl in 3rd Street Promenade, something that has happened several times, you don't take your family there, not during the day and especially not at nighttime.
No, not at all. My daughter is 9 years old. She's never been there. I used to go there all the time when I was younger. There was this one Italian restaurant, Mario's, that was on 3rd Street Promenade. We'd always go there. I'll never take my daughter there. I won't even consider going to Santa Monica for any reason. This is ridiculous.
I think that is something that more and more people are saying every single day, you included, myself included. Mike, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. You know, when I was younger, it's a place I used to go and hang out and see friends. And I couldn't imagine going to Santa Monica right now. And that is a shame because nothing physically about the city changed. It's not like it was destroyed by an earthquake or something. These were all man-made decisions or Ferrer-made decisions. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Let's go to Carmen in Santa Monica. Carmen, hello.
Hi, Randy. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate you and listening to everybody's call and your opinion as a Santa Monica resident and a family member who owns a restaurant on the 3rd Street Promenade. I can tell you that, yes, it's man-made. Also, I don't know if you remember the riots that we had in 2020 destroyed all the businesses. I feel that if it was controlled, meaning from so time to so time, open container, it will bring the police force more. It will be very cautious to make sure that it's not disruptive. And I think it will help the businesses and the economy right there in Santa Monica and other parts and see if this works. Regarding the bumps, I don't think that we'll allow the bumps to be in there while this open container ordinance goes in effect if it's a time limit. And I think it will be a great thing for the city and for the businesses on the 3rd Street Promenade. It's dead zone there. It is dead. There's nothing there. Not even flies get on there right now.
You know, it's interesting what you say, and I appreciate your perspective, but if you have some kind of controlled access where you feel safe knowing that all of the people there, the people that are supposed to be there, and there isn't this random element of just drugged out bums that have taken over the place, yeah, that could work, but that's something we definitely got to see first is making sure that you have enough law enforcement presence to make sure that people who are there are the ones that are going to enjoy the promenade and not destroy it.
Your Lana Negrete has promised that help and that, jurisdiction to have enough officers there to, procure that nothing like this happens. I mean, other cities have it, like New Orleans. Not as controlled, but it could work. This is only like 2 or 3 streets. If they control it to those 2 or 3 streets, it's closed. There's no traffic. I mean, they could do a tryout, see if it works. If it doesn't, it gets canceled. But at least give it the opportunity, give it a chance to work before we get all these naysayers. It's my opinion. As a proud Santa Monican and as a proud Republican, we need some money in there.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying, and I really hope something happens to fix that place because I would love to be able to go down there again. Carmen, thanks so much for the call. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate that she brought up the BLM riots too because, yeah, that had a huge effect on people's safety, and a lot of businesses got destroyed, and their losses were never recouped. Let's go back to Santa Monica. Let's go to Tom in Santa Monica. Tom, hello.
Hey, Randy, how you doing?
Doing great.
I personally think of it this way. This promenade, I've been living in Santa Monica personally since 1980. I moved here from Maryland in 76, but I've been living in the city of Santa Monica since 1980. I was there when I saw J.C. Penney on the corner of Wilshire and the Promenade. Of course, it wasn't the Promenade. It was 3rd Street. And then a great piano bar. But anyhow, it worked when they didn't have drinking. It worked when it was the Promenade. Do they think this is going to fix things? They're idiots because you're going to see young kids there, high school kids, maybe gangbangers. I live at 9th and Pico, and I got to get rid of graffiti about once a month. Graffiti paid there. Can you imagine going down? Everybody's going to have a backpack, and you know the backpack is going to be full of beer. So they're just going to fill up their cups. They're not going to pay $7.50 or $10 for a mixed drink. No. You know, it's like
I think you gotta. I think Tom, you gotta update your prices. Santa Monica, you're looking at $15 for a beer and $20 for a mixed drink.
Well, I don't go out to Santa Monica anymore because I can't afford it, even though I own a house and I'm building an ADU. I refuse to go out. There's only one restaurant we go to once a month, and that's it. I can't spend like $13 for a mixed drink.
I feel you, buddy. I totally understand. Thanks so much for the call, Tom. I appreciate it, and I totally get the perspective. Yeah, in the Valley, a cocktail's getting up to $20. In Santa Monica, it's definitely higher than that. Let's go to John in Sherman Oaks. John, hello.
Hi there. How are you?
Doing great.
Well, this all started really with the homeless. My wife is a former health inspector, and one of her districts was Santa Monica, the 3rd Street Promenade, in fact. And we did visit that very restaurant many times that another caller called in, Mario's. And this started with the homeless. The city was handing out blankets back in the day for homeless people. And so you're inviting, it's like feeding the pigeons. It's like feeding pigeons.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, what are pigeons going to do? They're going to eat your scraps, and they're going to keep coming. And then it just led to crime. And so you got to get rid of the pigeons. Stop feeding them. Stop, giving them handouts. Stop giving them blankets.
I mean, it's worse than blankets, John. We started handing out needles and meth pipes in the parks surrounding the promenade.
Right. Yep. That's right. So, but the drinking hours aren't going to help. It's crime. It's the people that are going there to spend money to drink. They're not the problem. It's it's homelessness. You got to clean that up.
I think you're totally right, John. Thanks so much for the call, and I appreciate your and your wife's perspective. 800-222-KABC is the phone number, 1-800-222-5222. The city of Santa Monica is thinking of adding entertainment zones, open container areas for public drinking on the 3rd Street Promenade. Do you think this is what will save the promenade and Santa Monica? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. If you're on hold, stay on hold. We'll get to you next. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Do you think open container drinking is going to save Santa Monica? Let's go to Karina in LA. Karina, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great.
Awesome. No, I don't think it's going to save Santa Monica. I think it's going to make it even worse. Imagine, I think it was last year, some dude, like a homeless guy, literally punched a little girl in the face that had just got an ice cream cone. She was like 6 years old. Now imagine that, but legally drunk times 100. How many ever homeless people are also chilling on the Santa Monica Promenade? What they need is more police. Get rid of the violent homeless that are there, or just violent drug addicts that are there, because some of them are homeless by choice. And that's making Santa Monica safe is what's gonna, make the foot traffic get better. We used to go almost every weekend, and we would travel like an hour to go down. Now we live a little closer. There's no way we would ever go to Santa Monica. Not with my kids, not with my husband, nobody. It's just dangerous and filthy.
I think you are the viewpoint of a lot of people who live close to Santa Monica. They're like, nope, not anymore, not in the state that it's in. Thanks so much for the call, Karina. Appreciate it. Yeah, who's taking their kids to the promenade after that little girl got punched? 800-222-KABC is the phone number. More of your calls up next. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. Let's get back to the phones. Go to Morris in Hollywood. Morris, hello.
Yeah, good afternoon. I got a different proposition for this city. It's out of control with the homeless. There's no parking. They've painted most of the streets red, so you can't park there. Take the promenade, the first 4 stories, a parking garage. Then the next 6 stories is city jail, to take all the drunks, the drug dealers, and throw them in jail and clean up the streets. And put in some bathtubs, on the very top of the showers or whatever, take a garden hose and with some pressure washer and clean these people up. I mean, it's out of control. Who wants to go there? I mean, it's just that bad. It's horrible. So,
well, there's one novel idea, Morris. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Let's go to Sunny in Venice. Sunny, hello.
Hey, Randy. I'm a loyal listener to you and John every morning, every afternoon. And, yeah, I'm your eyes and ears over the Promenade. I live only just down the street from Gold's Gym, Venice, but I pretty much hang at the Promenade at the Coffee Bean right next to the AMC Theater. So we see the circus every day that I'm there. You're right. I listened to you about Farad giving out the needles over there by the church in the park. That's crazy.
It's just unbelievable. Sonny, we're out of time. Please call us again, buddy, but the hour is wrapping up. Thanks so much for the calls, everyone. We'll try to do what we can to fix Santa Monica, but I don't know if this is the solution. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC.